Welcome to all. Myself N. Sri Ramalingam Ganesha Perumal, Assistant Professor, Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, Government College of Engineering, Srirangam, Trichy. In this video lecture, I am going to discuss about the set representation and the union or find operation in C. Then what do you mean by a set? It is an abstract data structure that can store certain values without any particular order and no repeated values. Basically, it is a computer implementation of the mathematical concept of a finite set. Here, some set data structures are designed for static sets, which means this one do not change with time and allow only query operations such as checking whether a given value is in the set or enumerating the values in some arbitrary order. The other variants are called dynamic or mutable sets. This will allow the insertion and the deletion of elements from the set. Then we will discuss about the operations. The typical operations that may be provided by a static set structure S are: the first one is an element of x comma s. It will checks whether the value x is in the set S. Second one is an empty of S, capital S. It will checks whether the set S is empty or not. The third one is an size of capital S. This will returns the number of elements in capital S. Then fourth one is an enumerate of S. This function yields the element of S in some arbitrary order. Then the fifth one is a pick of S. This will return an arbitrary element of S. The last one is a build of x1, x2, then up to xn. This will create a set structure with values x1, x2 up to xn. Then the enumerate operation may return a list of all the elements or an iterator, a procedure object that returns one more value of S at each call. Then dynamic set structures. This will typically add, the first one is a create of n. This will create a new set structure. Initially this will be empty but capable of holding up to n elements. The second one is an add of s comma x. This will add the element x to the capital S if it is not there already. The third one is an delete of capital S comma small x. It removes the element x from the capital S if it is there. The fourth one is an capacity of capital S. This will return the maximum number of values that the capital S can hold. There are many other operations that can be defined in terms of the above, such as the first one is an pop of capital S. This will return an arbitrary element of capital S, that is deleting it from the capital S. The next one is an find of capital S comma p. This will return an element of S that satisfies a given predicate p. The third one is an clear of S. It will delete all elements of S. Then other one is an union of capital S comma t. This will return the union of sets S and capital T. Then the intersection of capital S comma t. This will return the intersection of set S and T. Then the difference of S comma t. This will return the difference of sets S and T. Then the last one is a subset of capital S comma T. It is a predicate that tests whether the set S capital S is a subset of set T. Then equivalence relation. A relation R is defined on a set if for every pair of elements, that is A comma B, if the A comma B belongs to S, then A capital RB is either true or false. If RB is true, then we say that A is related to B. And this equivalence relation is a relation that satisfies the following three properties. The first property is a reflexive property. The second property is a symmetric property. The third property is a transitive property. Then what do you mean by a reflexive property? A capital R small a for all A belongs to S. Then what do you mean by symmetric property? A or B if and only if B or A. Then what do you mean by transitive property? A or B and B or C implies that A or C. For example, greater than or equal to or less than or equal to is not an equivalence relation because it is not symmetric. That is, A less than or equal to B does not implies B less than or equal to A. The equivalence class of an element A belongs to S is the subset of S that contains all the elements related to A. Then in the deciding equivalence relation on a set, that is in the union find algorithm, we have to first discuss about the input. The collection of capital N sets, each with one element. The initial representation is that all relations except the reflexive property is false. Each set has different elements so that the capital Si intersection of Sj equals pi. This makes the sets disjoint. It includes two operations. The first one is a find of function. The second one is a union of function. So what do you mean by find of function is it returns the name of the set, that is the equivalence class. The second one is the union of functions. It will add the relations between the set. Then if we want to add the relation AB, then we first see if A and B are already related or not. This is done by performing finds on both A and B and then checking whether they are in the same equivalence class. If they are not, then we apply union operation which merges the two equivalences classes containing A and B into new equivalence class. This algorithm is called as a union or find algorithm. This is for this reason we call this algorithm is an union algorithm. Next one is a find of function. Find of function returns the name of the set, that is the equivalence class, that finds on two elements. This will return the same answer if and only if they are in the same set. We will represent each set by a tree. The name of the tree is given at the root node. Since we only need the root of the parent, we can assume that the tree is stored implicitly in an array. Each entry S of I in the array represents the parent of the element I. If I is a root, then the S of I equals -1. For example, consider this following figure. The S of I equals -1 for I is in between 0 and 8. The implicit representation of the above tree is expressed in the below figure. Then the union function. To perform union of two sets, we merge the two trees by making the parent link of one tree root link to the root node of other tree. The following figures represent the union operation. Here the union of 4, 5 is represented here. The union of 6, 7 is represented here. The union of 4, 6 is represented here. The implementation of the above tree is given in the below figure. Here is a sample program that represents an implementation of the basic algorithm that we already discussed. Next one is a smart union algorithm. This algorithm describes by making the second tree a subtree of smaller tree. Here a small improvement is always to make the smaller tree a subtree of larger tree. Breaking tie by any method. This approach is called the union by size. The three unions below are all ties, so we can consider that they were performed by size. If the next operation were union 3, 4, then the above figure will show the entire operation. Here the depth of any node is never more than the logarithm of n. For this, a node is initially at depth 0. When its depth is increases as a result of union, it is placed in a tree that at least twice as larger as before. Thus the depth can be increased at most logarithm of n times. An alternative implementation is that this will guarantee that all these trees will have depth at most log n is union by height. We keep track of height instead of size of each tree and perform union by making the shallow tree a subtree of the deeper tree. This is an easy algorithm since the height of a tree increases only when two equally deeper trees are joined. Then the height goes up by 1. This is an implicit representation of union by size. Here the 5 represents the size of the fourth subtree. The implicit representation of union by height is given in the below figure. Here the -3 represents the height of the fourth subtree. Thank you all.